You talk about the Jordan Peterson future authoring exercise, 10 years of good decisions. What does that version of Nick look like? 10 years of bad decisions. What does that version of Nick look like? And even just hearing you tell your story, there was a version of Nick that's literally was self-medicating himself on Xanax 275, waking up with melted chocolate bars on your chest versus now, 200,000 Instagram followers, flourishing coaching business, good-looking dude in a sport coat on our podcast. It's like, it's pretty amazing the dichotomy of the directions that you can go, man. And it's like, I don't know how you couldn't listen to your message and not be motivated.
No. Weight loss is the ultimate teacher to a fat person. And people say that everything you're looking for is on the other side of losing weight. Everything you're looking for is in the journey of addressing sustainable weight loss and sustainable relationship with food. Everything that I've learned about myself, everything that I've learned about how to look somebody in the eyes, everything, all the speaking ability that I've learned, the storytelling ability that I've learned has all come from practice. The first thing that I ever practiced with intentionality successfully was weight loss. And it gives you that cookie jar. You can always go back to, man, this is going to be really hard, but it's not as hard as when I lost 110 pounds and I've kept it off for what's now been 6 years. That was a billion times harder than anything else that I'm doing now. And it just gives you that strong reference point, man. And I truly believe people that are fat have the golden ticket. The golden ticket. You can inspire so many people in a visual way. People will be coming to you asking what the fuck kind of pills or what kind of needles you're sticking in your ass. And you'll be able to look at them and say, I'm just changing who I am as a person. And you're so fortunate. Fat people are so fortunate to have that opportunity because that change is absolutely possible.
When you're talking, I just keep going back to the idea of your strength really being telling yourself the truth. And you've kind of just trained that into everything that you're doing at this point. And even the way that you're talking about how you speak to your clients, you're just telling them the truth or a truth that they need to start to live their life within. And I'm curious just like how you've obviously done it through repetition, but how can people start to like experiment with giving themselves that truth so that they can start living in and stepping into that life that you are now living in and hopefully they can step into at some point?
Yeah. It's what do you actually want for your life? I think the one question, if everyone in the world knew the answer to that question and could speak it without even thinking, right? When you ask someone what they really want, if they can't say it in 2 seconds, then they don't really know. You can think your way into something that you maybe should want. What do you really want? Why don't you have it right now? Could you have it right now? What would that look like? What would that feel like? Can you visualize having it right now? Does anyone else in the world have it? How did they get it? Are you willing to do that? Can you do that? It's like you just blunt, man. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Get down to the yes or no. Sometimes it's no. Like I can't be an NBA player. It's not going to happen. And that's fine. It's also not what I want. But I truly believe to my core that if I wanted to be a professional guitar player, I could. I don't know how to play guitar.
Yeah.
I, to my core, believe if you put me in a room for 6 months with the internet connection and YouTube, that I would leave as a professional guitar player.
Yeah.
To
I
my
would
core.
love to see that.
I don't like, I want to, but I don't really want to.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I could press a button and do that, I would do it. But I don't fucking in my gut want to. What do you in your gut want?
Yeah.
And if you don't know the answer to that, fucking drop every single thing that you possibly can and lock yourself in a fucking room until you know the answer. Or get out and run with no earphones on until you pass out. You're going to learn something about yourself.
Go to the Under Armour track and run 105 laps and rip yourself
laps.
down to the core of who you are.
Yeah, but man, that's all this is. This whole game of life that we're playing is just people trying to figure out what they want and then going after what they want. That's the whole game. Should I do this or not? I want to be healthy. Would a healthy person do this or not? I want to have massive impact. Brett asked me if I wanted to be on the show. Would somebody with massive impact and legacy come on this show? Fuck yeah, they would. It's a golden opportunity. Yes. If they wouldn't have, I would have said no, right?
Yeah.
It's every decision is like, does this make sense for what I choose for my life and for what I want my kids to know about me and my grandkids to know about me? Yes. Let's just do that. And like, how simple?
That's actually just beautifully simple and encouraging because it sounds like with you, it's identity shift first. Who does Nick want to be? I'm going to act in accordance with that version of Nick. And then every decision, whether it's a meal that you could eat or shouldn't eat, a podcast that you could potentially go on. It does this support this version of Nick that I want to become? Yes or no? If yes, I do it. If no, I don't do it.
Right.
And then you just break it down a moment at a time, a meal at a time, simple.
Yeah. And that's the positive feeling. The feeling that you get from living that is 1 billion times better than the feeling that you get from any drugs or alcohol. It's just, can you put off the short term and just ask yourself, like, how am I going to feel 30 minutes after doing this? If you do that with every single thing, man, I mean, within 30 days, you're going to be walking different.
Totally.
And that's all it takes, man, is you could literally be an unrecognizable version of yourself in 30 days. I know this sounds so simple, but, Monday of last week, I don't want to say I had a mental breakdown, but I was really low. And I was trying to figure out, I'm like, why do I feel so low? Why do I almost feel a bit manic? And I was praying on it. And I had the feeling I was like, I feel like there's still so much of Brett that's locked up inside, but I'm scrolling on social media so much that I'm not doing the things that I should be doing to build the dream life that I want to be able to build for myself and my family. And the next morning, I just went to the kitchen counter and did an hour and a half of work before I scrolled on my phone or even before I went to the gym. I went to the gym as my reward, used my phone as my reward, started reading Atomic Habits again. And then even 7 days later, it's like the way that I feel that I'm operating in business is different than Monday of last week. And now it's, and now it's on me to keep it sustainable, and we'll see where I am in a month from now. But even that is a proof of what you're saying, that it could be like just one small win of getting that dopamine hit and now just compound on it.
Something that I always say to people is you give yourself permission to do the thing that serves you. People don't think like that. It's like most of the time not, right? Like what would it look like to give yourself permission to do that for 5 days in a row? If you forget, what would it look like to give yourself permission to just make a healthier decision around food right now instead of waiting until tomorrow morning to start your diet? It's like, I don't know.
And when you put the power in the present moment too, and make that right decision in the moment, instead of putting off eating healthy the next meal, you then now have that one cookie in the cookie jar in the win column.
Yeah. So much of this this bubble that we exist in the space of really successful athletes or big food influencers, people that represent ideas. We're in a community of people that represent ideas, and what I want people to understand is that there is a world where you maintain the results that you've built with ease by changing your defaults. No diet will ever result in permanent weight loss, ever, unless you're going to stay on the diet forever. It just won't. It may be for 1 in 100 people. Most people, it doesn't. There is a world where you can actually change your baseline that you fall back to. And it's like brushing your teeth, and it doesn't take any discipline. When you were born, you came out of the womb, you didn't even know what a toothbrush was, right? When you were 2, your mom's like, here's how to brush your teeth. And you fucking rebelled. You didn't want to brush your teeth for fucking years. You regularly skipped and you got a cavity. Your mom was pissed off. Brush your fucking teeth. And then she showed you again how to do it. You did it. Maybe even through high school, or if you were drinking a lot of booze, you still regularly skipped brushing your teeth before you fucking went to bed.
Yeah.
Now, let me see your guys' teeth. You got good teeth? Yeah, we got good teeth. You guys brush your teeth morning and night.
Yeah.
Right? With toothpaste.
Yes.
Yeah. Good water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little mouthwash.
Yeah, a little mouthwash. You don't even think about it.
No.
Do you want to brush right now? Like, do you want to brush your teeth? No. Like, fuck it. It's like, I don't want to brush my teeth. I actually dislike brushing my teeth. It seems just like 2 minutes of my life that I don't like to do it, right? I just do it without even having to think about it. It's a default habit. Sustainable weight loss in relationship with food, with the right attention and with the right process, can become the same thing. So I don't think about keeping weight off. It's not even, there's no world where I would gain the weight back. And it's not because I'm disciplined, which I am. It's not because I'm out disciplining my results. I could never leave my room ever again and I would never gain the weight back because my defaults are completely changed. I love healthy foods. Like, love them. I love meat, fruit, rice, vegetables, potatoes, and dairy products. And I actually don't really like bullshit anymore. I just eat it celebratorily when it makes sense. And you can really, if you don't make that switch, you'll always be at war with yourself. You'll always hear the fat mind. You have to make the mental switch. And the way to do it is to just practice and document.
Do you believe, this is going to take this conversation in a different direction, but you have me thinking about just destiny and the idea of limiting beliefs. Do you believe in destiny? And I think that's almost the highest form of belief. So I'm curious what you believe in.
I believe that we are completely in control of our own realities. Like, completely. I believe that anything that you believe is true is true. So I believe that if you believe in destiny, then that is your reality. If I don't believe in destiny, then that is my reality. I choose to believe in destiny and magic and spirit because it's just a more fun way to live.
Yeah.
Like, how boring to not believe in any of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to live an exciting life, man. And I those things make my life more exciting. They make me feel like I have more purpose. They make things seem more intangible and more magical. And I want to live in a world with magic where we can snap our fingers and control what's happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe very, very deeply. I believe in destiny, but I believe that I'm in control of my own destiny. It's so interesting you asked that. So when I look at the next phase of my life, right? So all these tools we're talking about through weight loss, manifestation, visualizing the future that you want, they apply to everything. Weight loss was just the means of me learning and practicing them and starting to master them in a way. But now it's visualizing my future wife, visualizing my future children and my future grandchildren, like intentionally setting aside 60 seconds every day to just take a breath. And what would it feel like if I was the father that I never had? What would it feel like if I was the best husband in the world? What would it feel like if I was the ultimate provider and protector for my family? And just to live in that for 60 seconds every day is like, man, it's real to me. I feel it right now, and I don't even know if I've met her. I definitely haven't met my kids, right? But it's so real that it is my destiny that those things will happen. With certainty it will, because I'm in the energy of eluding that off of my body. So anytime that I'm walking around, I can feel, it's like other people can feel that on me. Women can feel that on me, right? And they're like, again, that's what manifestation is. It's, can you sit in the energy of the thing that you want, even though you don't tangibly have it right now in the 3D? But when you live the imagination, the best thing you can do is develop a strong imagination. If you can develop and really actually feel the emotion of it so hard that you can almost cry. Like, man, when I was wanting to run 100-mile races, I would sit there and turn on some M83 instrumental music and just close my eyes and cry, finishing like, what the fuck would it be like to throw my middle fingers up crossing that finish line? And I visualized that so hard, I feel like I already did it. I feel like I could come on this podcast and lie and say I ran a 100-mile race, and like, fuck, people would believe me because I did in my head 1 billion times, you know? So I absolutely believe in destiny, yeah.
I think there's an amazing force that comes to your life when you seek out wonder. And I think destiny kind of brings that in, like the probability of us all being here with, us even existing individually, let alone us all three being in this room together, is so small. Like, it brings out this wonder that I truly believe, like, if we could spur some of that up in our own lives and follow that seeking the wonder, we would just find so much more gratitude and success, whatever, that means to everyone individually. Success would really come on the other side of just like being happy with what we already have. Like the ridiculous chances that we're sitting in this room having this conversation.